Hey, you have found Dee and Dory,
the design dreamers, and we are all about thrifty sewing, having a good time, seeing what bargains we can find. Sewing doesn't have to be expensive, so that's what we're all about.
And this week we are bringing to you our pattern from the internet, suggested by Creative Lady B.
Yes, and we had a different understanding of pattern from the internet, although we both got patterns off the internet.
I think we did fine.
Yeah, me too. I really like what Dory got off the internet and how wonderful it turned out. I think it's one of the best fitting patterns she's had in a while. So,
and I like what you got too.
Thank you.
I think it's
My
really
hubby
nice.
actually liked what I made this time.
Cool. But before we get to reveal that,
we always start with an inspirational saying because we try to be up on the positive all the time. Enough negativity in the world.
Yes. So this is a quote from Theodore Roosevelt.
I was just listening to a little thing on the way over here on the radio, on Dr. Radio,
About
had some
Teddy
information
Roosevelt?
about Teddy Roosevelt, I think. Go ahead. What
For a
did you
minute, I
look
thought
at?
you were going to say, I was just listening to him.
No, he's been passed for a while.
Yeah, actually, he was born in 1858 and died in 1919.
Oh, that wasn't who I was listening about. Sorry. Wrong person. Go ahead.
He was only 60 years old when he died.
Yeah.
And he died in his sleep from a blood clot that detached from a vein and traveled to his lungs.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. But we know him as an American politician, statesman, conservationist, naturalist, and he was a writer also.
Oh, he was a writer also. That I did not know.
And so here's his quote. Believe you can, and you're halfway there.
That's true. That is true. Yes.
What we tell ourselves we can and cannot do makes a difference whether we can or cannot do something.
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Like getting a pattern off the internet.
I know. At first I was like, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. She did a wonderful job with her pattern, and I chose a different path. But I got it off the internet.
So you want to see mine?
I do.
Want me to talk about mine?
Yeah, I do.
So this is a top that I found. It's called the Cara.
Oh, look at that.
C-A-R-A. Yeah.
Very nice. And your top stitching is gorgeous.
Thank you.
Was that double needle?
I know.
Very nice.
That was just
Perfect.
double tap. Like double makeup.
All right, I'll let you go.
So the fabric is one that I had gotten in a Fabric Mart fashion bundle.
Oh, okay.
And I love the fabric. It's very artsy.
It is. I love it too.
And it's very what's the word I want? Smooth?
Yeah, it's got a wonderful texture.
Wonderful texture. The pattern that I got off the internet was said to use linen.
And what was the pattern that you got off the internet?
It's called Cara, C-A-R-A, and I got it from fabricsstore.com. I'll put a link in our description, but I'll put it up there too. And they explain how to print only the size you need.
Oh, that's great.
Which was nice to be able to do that. So I scaled it 100%. You don't want to change the scaling. Scale 100%. I printed off 31 pages.
Of regular paper, typewriting paper,
just,
or regular printing paper.
Yeah, there's some I didn't need to, so this is like, just the size. The probably the issue that I buy really strong paper. I like
I buy the cheapest I can.
So like this is like an 80-pound paper, which is nice. It makes it stiff, but try putting your pins through it.
And
put it on your fabric. So I should have just gotten cheaper paper for it, but.
Or you could have used weights, but I don't always find the weights are good for me.
Yeah, it was the issue of where I was cutting it out and all that.
Yeah.
So, and it's interesting. The seam allowances on this particular pattern is 3/8 inch.
Oh.
Yeah, for the seams, 3/8 inch.
Huh.
And I did have to register for fabricstore.com to get the free pattern. And then they also had the free instructions too. So
okay, nice.
So the pattern, I mean, just to show you, the thing is, it's stiff, it's big, it's like, how am I going to store this? Now I'm going to have to find an envelope to put
A
it
big
in.
manila envelope is
Yeah.
what you're going to need
Yeah.
to use, or a file or
And
something.
it's interesting, there are no, what are those things called?
Arrows or grain lines?
No, there's green lines, but there's no like, join this notch with that notch. There's no
Oh.
notches of any kind.
Oh,
At
it's
all.
just, okay.
Which
You don't really need for,
a lot of times you don't need them.
yeah.
I did like that they had the sleeves set in.
Mhm.
Is that the correct word? Where you do the sleeve and the seam down the
Oh, okay.
side all at once. So this is all one seam.
Okay, so I don't think those are set in,
Oh.
but that's all
Well,
right.
I wonder, what is that called? I don't know.
It's done the way they do it in manufacturing. That's the
Oh.
way those sleeves are put in.
Oh, I like that.
yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I had to do to get the pattern so that I could print it was I had to load Acrobat Reader, which was also free.
Yeah, but
But if you don't want all that extra stuff on your computer, and for me, and when I can get patterns for $2,
it's not
it's
worth
not
it.
worth my time because you have to match then everything up, and tape it together and then cut it out. It just is a lot of fussy work.
Yeah, I would not. That's why I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to deal with all that fussy work. For me, like you said, if I can get a pattern at, on sale or thrift it, super cheap, I'm not going to deal with all of
Right.
that.
But I can see if you're in an area where you can't get patterns for inexpensive, that would be kind of a way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so I did get this up, like I said, off the internetfabricstore.com. It was very easy to make. They even had you put the neck binding on before you put the sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
And they had, for the pockets, you could click on it said to add the pockets, and then it said click on this link to see how you finish off the pockets.
Oh.
So you could click on the link, and that would be any pocket that you could put anywhere, a patch pocket.
Yeah.
How to do it. So it was easy to understand. They said beginners can make this, and I do believe they can.
Oh, yeah.
There was a little detail at the very bottom of the pocket where the hem was 1.5 inches, so it went through the pocket because you top stitched the hem. But I noticed online that picture shows that that's what they did too.
Yeah, but it looks nice.
Because I thought, did I do something wrong? It's going right through my pocket. Not that I need a pocket that just a little bit deeper than what it is. So anyway, it was not a mistake. That's the way it is.
I really, really like it. I think it looks very expensive myself. I think you did an excellent job.
Thank you. It fits really well.
Yeah, it does. It fits you really well.
Yeah, it was a good, It was easy pattern to make. Would you like to see the reveal?
I would like to see the reveal.
Okay.
Hey. That's what Nate would say.
Yes, that's right. He'd say, hey. So that was it.
Nice.
Yeah. The other little thing I would say about it is different patterns that you can get online from the internet have different ways of
putting it together.
Yes. So like this one had pages 1 through 14 or whatever it was.
Can you show them that?
Well, I actually wrote on here so I would know what page number goes where.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Some of them, their first page is like page 5.
Oh.
Because they have other pages before this that might explain some things.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So you just got to pay attention to that. And the other thing was they wanted me to make my own bias, which would have been more fabric, and I thought I have tons of bias
Tape, yeah.
tape. Yeah, that I thought I'll just use store-bought and bias tape.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, is I used store-bought, and I wanted the red to kind of give it a little. And then,
Yeah, the red's perfect.
And then-
Pizzazz. You can
yeah.
really use any of the bright colors
you
off
could, any
there.
of them. I
Mhm.
could have used any of them.
Mhm.
So anyway,
Nice. Very nice.
that's it.
Oh, it escaped me. Oh, I did want to let everybody, some of you are very notice attention to detail. Ooh, I don't know why that took me so long. And Dory went to the eye doctor this morning. Again. And she has one eye dilated. The other eye is not. So for those of you that picked that up, that's why.
Yeah, so it was.
She's okay. There's nothing really weird going on with her brain, at least that we can see.
yeah. So a couple weeks ago, I mentioned I had this
Scar tissue.
Yeah, laser tissue, so that it lasered on my eye to get rid of the scar tissue from my cataract surgery that I had 2 years ago. And so today was the checkup after the laser surgery. So they wait 2 weeks, and my vision's good, everything's good. I do every once in a while see, I think it's a gnat. I'll be like,
a little floater.
Yeah, it's a little floater, but that will eventually all go away. So yeah, it went well. Should I tell them what else I've been doing?
What have you been doing?
It's kind of interesting.
What have you been doing?
I've been writing a book.
Oh yeah. Oh, she is. It's really interesting. And in fact, if it was nicer today, I would like to go down to the cemetery. Yeah, because she found out writing this book. It's about our family and letters that the family would have. I don't know, how did you get those letters?
You know what? Mom had them, and she always had them up in her closet. And as a little girl, I remember asking her about those letters, and she said, "Oh, you can't look at those." And then as I got older, she said, "When I die, you can read them."
Oh, okay.
And she told me they were letters from Dad to her.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in there. I've only read 2 letters to her. All the rest are to his family. But I'm learning so much about the history of that time period.
Yeah.
You know, it's just fascinating. But I discovered that our great-grandfather is buried less than a mile down the road from us.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know any relatives were in this area.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious to see if there's other people with
Yeah.
the same last names that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting. It was the time period of the Korean War.
Yes.
So,
yes.
you know.
Yeah. And, you know, and when he's writing his letters, he says things like, I can't remember the exact right now, but he mentioned a type of camera. I'd never heard of this camera. So I looked it up. It was the most popular camera in the 1950s.
So there you go.
It was like everybody had them in the 50s. And then he mentioned a car. And then he went to a concert of Hector Heights. And I'm like, who in the world is that? But then I listened to him on YouTube. It was great. I was like, I know all kinds of cool things.
Yeah, it's just like if, things, continue on. Well, things even now that we grew up with, that the generation now being born, they don't know what a rotary telephone is. They don't know what a party line is.
Right.
They don't know. There's a lot of things
party line, remember that
never doesn't exist. Or how we used to have to get up and turn the channel on the TV.
I
Whatever.
have to physically do it.
Yes. And the rabbit ears and on and on and on. So, yeah, but there's things that they just get lost.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it's been very enlightening. It's fun.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway.
Okay, that's a fun thing that she can do. Me, I'm not so. Anyway, I have energies in other directions.
Well, she did order new glasses.
I did.
Yeah, so maybe in a couple of weeks or 3.
I hope to get them next week.
Yeah.
My husband ordered glasses, and his were in like 7 days after.
Yeah, but next week's video won't be showing them.
No, it won't. It won't be until probably January sometimes. After January or middle of January.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my pattern was off the internet, but I got mine off YouTube, and it was from the web,
from YouTube.
From the YouTube. So very easy. This lady, I've been had looked at several different people's YouTubes for making a Japanese knot bag. I wanted to make a Japanese knot bag, KNOT.
I say. Or not.
Yeah. And I was reading the reviews on different ones, and for this lady, most of the people said this is the easiest way I've ever seen the the handles being done.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, okay, and I watched it and I like, okay. So anyway, these are my notes.
Ooh.
You know, so I had to write down, you know, the markers, the cutting, and the measurements of everything.
So
and
you
went
made
to
a
side
pattern
two.
without making a pattern. I mean, you just used the measurements for a pattern. You didn't actually cut out, or did you cut out paper? Did you measure it and put
No, I put the, how she showed is that these are made from, it was made from fat quarters.
Wow. See what you can do with a fat quarter.
Yeah, four fat quarters, because I wanted it reversible is what I wanted
Right.
it. And actually I had intended, but because this was my first one, I wanted one side to be plain and one side to be patterned. I didn't end up that way. So I ended up with the patterns together, you know, and then the other side was just plain.
Now, I'm kind of curious. Well,
What? Go ahead.
Should I ask now or later? These handles. So, will this fit over a grocery cart?
I don't know.
Handles? No.
No, probably not.
Because they,
This
yeah.
and this is considered a larger Japanese knot bag. Some of them are purses. They make them small enough to be purses. And she shows, you know, you can adjust it.
Use that
You
as
know,
a purse.
if you know, you can take and bring it in if you want to when you're making it. Once you make it, you can make them smaller sizes if you want to.
Yeah.
However you want to fold the fabric. Oh, excuse me. And
It's cute.
so
I love
thank
the colors.
you. Thank
Love
you.
the colors that you picked.
Thank you.
So where did you get
This
the fat
happened-
quarters?
I was helping a very sweet older lady. She can't go in her basement anymore, and she had a bunch of sewing supplies down there. And so she gifted me with these fat quarters.
Nice.
So anyway, so the thing to remember with this is that this is considered the closure. And I actually went up a little bit too much in sewing. I should have left it open down here. You know, I have about a half an inch more than I needed to when I sewed up the side seam. But
so is that
the
the
small-
side seam that the closure is?
yeah, the smaller loop is the closure to the bag.
So
it
they're not the
closes it.
same size.
No, look, this is, they're not the same. This is like 9 inches. And I think this was 4 inches.
Oh, I thought maybe you were just a little, had something to drink before you did it.
No. No.
Oh, that's cool.
But
So which one is the closure? The short
end. So you take the long end and put it
through the
short end, and that closes it
Oh,
off.
how cute.
Yeah, it closes it
I
off.
like that.
Yeah, and
That'd be a cool grocery bag.
yes, actually one of the websites that I had looked at, or the YouTube channels, was like, use these instead of, you know, the plastic grocery bags, because it's about the same size, and you could actually make it deeper if you wanted to. You know, once you get the basic pattern down, you can make it as deep as you want to. You know, you could make this
If you had
deeper.
something other than a fat quarter.
Yeah, if you had
Yes.
something other than a fat quarter. Because the 18, I think, what is a fat quarter? 18 by 22? Let me look. Beats me.
I would like to make.
Yeah, 18 by 22.
I think that'd make a cool gift.
It would. It's really cute. That's what I thought. Once you sew it and get it down.
I like that pattern.
Now, if you go to...
Was it hard to... did it take long to sew?
Well, you know, it's the first time doing it. And the actually, what they said was the hardest part, and they liked the way this particular lady put the handles together, because you have, after you sew, how does it work? After you sew, I don't remember how I did that. Let me see. Draw
you do top stitching,
curve.
I see. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I top stitched all around the edges and around the bottom too. It just kind of reinforces it. Oh yeah, it's on the other side that I top stitched.
Right, because
it's inside out. Yeah,
Right.
see. So I top stitched all the way around. I'll show you. I know I need to get where it's nice and straight, so y'all can't see where I did it crooked.
Oh,
But see, I top stitched, and it could have been a little closer, but you know, for what it's going to be, that's just great. It worked out just fine. But the handles, you turn, when you're initially sewing, how she tells you to do it, you put the right sides together. And so then you sew up to your handles, but you leave this part open.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn one bag inside out, and you put it up into the other handle. But what I use, and that could be difficult, but do you know the elastic guide you got me? I clipped it on the end and I put it up through there and I pulled it through.
Oh, nice.
And then just smoothed it out and went really, really easy. And then
Good hint.
Yeah, it was a great, thank you. It worked out really well. And then you sew these together so you have no seam on either side. It was really cool. And that's the part that most people who had made comments said that they had difficulty with other types of instructions that they seen. And they said hers was the easiest yet. So that was cool. It really, once you do it, it was not hard. It took me a minute to, once I had the handle sewn, then you take the bottom of the bag, you sew up this part of the bag last on both sides. So you lay it on the table and you bring your handles in towards the center. And then, you know, because they're in towards the center like this, for you to sew up this seam, and you have to make sure not to catch the handles because you go right up to that where that meets. There's a little bit of fussiness around this edge because you have a 1/4 inch seam that you cut off and then you sew it. So there's a little notch so the handles go in easy. It's kind of, I don't know, that's probably not very clear, the explanation.
But well, we'll put the link to the video.
Yeah, but she did a really nice job explaining it, and I think I'll make a few more of these because I really, really like them. I really like it.
I've got an idea for some gifts.
And this is, you know, being a fat quarter, depending on the fabric that you use, you can throw it in the laundry. Because I know some people, you know, their reusable bags are like, oh, it gets contaminated with this, that, and the other. Well, throw it in the wash.
And you know
throw
what's
it in
cool?
the laundry.
So my mind's, if you wanted it not reversible, you could embroidery on it.
That's true. You could do, or now, listen, these are 2 separate pieces. You could still embroidery.
Oh, embroidery and then sew it together.
And then sew it together. You could do that. And then you'd have a reversible, you know, with embroidery on one side. Or you can, however you want to do it.
Oh, the ideas are flying.
Yeah, it's really a fun bag. And I think next time for me, I might take and make some of the straps a little bit longer just to see. I don't know. You know, but I'm going to fuss with it and play with it because I really liked it. And I do think it's an easy bag. And it's
so how
fun.
did you ever, like, you'd heard of this Japanese knot bag? Knot bag?
Yeah, Japanese knot bag. I don't know where I first, but I have wanted one for a long, long time.
I guess I'm slow on
and you know what I have done, and I'm sorry I didn't buy the book. Years ago, I researched patterns or sewing ideas that were Oriental or Japanese. And there was a sewing book that had all sorts of, at Joanne Fabrics. They're kind of expensive. It had all sorts of Japanese sewing designs, and they make things differently, and they have a different type of style, at least with this book that I was looking at. I didn't purchase it, and I should have because I've never seen it since then.
Ooh, I can Google it for you because, you know, you might be able to find it.
Yeah, I might, but I really enjoyed looking at that, and their different styles and their different ways
you
of
don't remember
sewing.
the title of it?
No, but I can see the picture of the cover.
Oh.
Of the lady.
You should capture that.
Yeah, well, click, I don't know. Yeah, I wish. But anyway, this is very versatile. Yeah. And the fact that it closes off and you can carry it with one, you know, just one arm. Well, if I do it right, it closes off, you know, and you can carry it. My husband loved this thing.
Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, he was like, oh, that is really cool, you know, so you can, and nobody can get into it. It's
awesome.
Yeah, so thank you. So would you like to see the reveal? I have a reveal that pretty much goes through what I just did.
Okay, let's watch it again.
Okay.
cute that is?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you'd be really upset that I made this.
No. Not at all.
But
Why would I be upset?
I don't know, because I wasn't going to go the 500 pages of taping of.
You didn't have to, yeah.
Yeah, but
It was just a pattern from the internet. It didn't have to be a fashion pattern.
Yeah, and that's what I liked, and I wanted it. I thought, oh, here's my opportunity to make a Japanese.
I thought about making just a scrunchie.
That's true.
Because I've got that, how to make a scrunchie on the internet, on my YouTube, so our YouTube. But
yeah, and the longest part was just stopping the YouTube and writing things down. I need to put it down. I can't
you
remember.
need to write it all out and send me a copy.
I could do that and see if you'd understand it, though. You'll have to read through it because.
But yeah, if I had that and I watched the video,
right,
then I wouldn't have to stop and write it down.
And I did everything pretty well without reviewing the video until I came to sewing the bottoms of the bags together. And then I'm like, okay, I don't quite remember and I don't want to do this, so I'm going to end up with something I can't use.
Right.
So I watched it like 3 times. I'm like, okay, now this is this step, and what's nice is I just put my iPad on my sewing table and stood there and folded it as she did it.
So when we first pulled this challenge, what was your first reaction?
I didn't want to do it.
Yeah. So this goes along with that saying from Teddy Roosevelt, right?
Yeah, I did not want to do it.
Let me get the box for our next drawing.
Oh, we do need to do that.
Yes, we do.
And
Nate's not here to do it.
I know. He's home with Daddy today.
Ooh, we still got
quite a few. She was like, wanting to add more. I said, let's use these up. Oh, what do we got? Oh, my French seam. I've been wanting to do a French seam. Yay!
She's excited.
Yes, I'm excited for that. Yay!
I have to get excited. Oops, I kicked the camera.
Oh,
that's usually your job.
That is usually my job. That's usually what I do.
Okay, so we'll be working on French seams sometime in the near future.
Yeah. What did you say you were working on? Oh, a book. Never mind. Go ahead.
Amongst other things. So don't forget, Teddy Roosevelt said, believe you can, and you're halfway there.
That's true.
We believe in you.
Yes.
So you're halfway there.
Yeah, there you go. That's
if you
right.
believe in you and we believe in you, that makes a whole belief.
That's right. It works. So there you go. And you have to have that confidence. If you start something saying, I can't do this, you're not going to do it.
Right. You need to start off saying,
I can do this, and just keep that energy going and research it and do it.
Remember that story as a little kid? The little train that thought
I think I can. I think I can. Yep.
And then he did.
And then he did. That's right.
All right. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
Enjoy your week. Happy sewing. Happy thrifting. Find some good deals.
Bye.
Bye.